Hi, welcome back to the college series. Welcome back to the college series, and we are learning Python. So yeah, my third video. It is going to be a continue of the previous one. Actually, I had some issues in my system, so just paused it for a while. We completed the variables and data types revision, एंड अब हम थोड़ा सा ना लिस्ट के रिवीजन पे कंप्लीट करते हैं जो आपने फर्स्ट वीडियो में देखा था। उसको मैं थोड़ा सा और डिटेल में ट्राई करता हूँ समझाने का। उसके बाद हम मूव करते हैं बेबी डिक्शनरी टपल्स विल लुक ओवर द करिकुलम हियर। सो लेट्स मूव विदाउट एनी वेस्टिंग टाइम। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स चेक व्हाट टपल इज एंड हमारे बुक साहब क्या बोलते हैं। लेट्स चेक दिस फर्स्ट। ओके, सो नॉट लिस्ट, यस लिस्ट। I'll be repeating little bit like the first lecture, but it's good to understand again. If you know, you can simply skip it. List of list. So what are lists? Lists are it's something that where suppose it is a variable. List is a list you create inside a variable. Okay. Suppose I take a variable x. Okay. X is there. We want to put different items which are available in my table or in my inside my room. Okay, so I observe the things. I want to place them in order. That first place in this list, here is the variable x equals to, I create a list. In this list I'll be placing the things name order wise because it is an order. It depends on order. Whenever you create a list, inside whatever you place, the most important thing here is the order. Okay, so if you place something, let's say towel is in first place. Okay, second I placed bed sheet, third I placed bed, fourth I placed pillow. Okay, so this is the order. Now, with the help of list, we can identify that what was in our first place. Generally, in list and inside Python, we consider first place and we denote it with zero because whenever the places are there, they start with 0, 1, 2, 3. Even though the quantity starts from here 1, we generally count it as 1, 2, 3. But the placing named is from 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll show you. See, so I have placed an x equals to towel, comma, what did I say? Bed sheet, comma, bed, comma, pillow. Okay. So now I want to see, I don't remember after 3, 4 days, I came back to the code. The code is somewhere random place and I remember the variable name. Okay. Now I want to fetch that thing which was on the first place. Now remember, the first place I'm naming, this is not the first place. It's actually the second place in the list. Okay. First place is the name like zeroth, first, second, third. Okay. So first will be what? Remember the order I told you? It was, what was that? Yeah. Let's just I'll show you here. Okay. Wait. I did. What do we like donate or not donate, you place a list, you make a list inside this parenthesis. Okay, no, it's not parenthesis, it's the square brackets. You make a list inside the square brackets. Let's say pillow, comma, bed sheets, comma, bed sheet, comma, bed, comma, bottle. Okay, so I have made a list in Python, inside the Python, consisting of 4 different materials I observe in my day-to-day life. So here what is the error? This you can see this is a yellow line each and every below each and every word here. So this is generally a typing error. See, there are two different types of error. One is runtime error. One is typing error. What is runtime error? Runtime error is something related to the syntax. Whenever there is a like problem regarding the syntax or the print. Suppose you are writing print comma, and you just placed a comma at the end. So that is not valid. So that becomes a syntax error. But inside the print, if you're writing print with capital P, so that's a runtime error. Okay. So that's a like writing error. So there are two types of error. Here, what we are getting is the yellow lines. This means that it's a simple error which can be resolved without any syntax changes. What we need to do is place quotation marks, okay, inverted commas inside the square brackets, and then again inside each and every quotation marks you place the object or whatever you want to place inside the list. It can be number, it can be any element, it can be any human, it can be any name. So I'll do it for every of them. So here is a list. Let's change this X and name something which is validate. So I want to name it as house. Okay. So house equals to the list name is house. And inside this list, imagine a container which name is house. And on the first thing it is pillow, second thing it's bedsheet, then third it's bed, and fourth it's bottle. Now it's easy for you, like it's not easy for you to remember what was on first, second, third. So simply this is why you use the list, and I'll show you the latest like use case of each and everything when we'll be learning tuples, dictionaries. I'll show you what it is used for, and we'll be solving a few questions too. So there the list will be useful. So this is the list. Now, what you can do is, suppose I went after like 40 or 50 codes and I remember the variable name. See, remembering the variable name is very important. Now you have remembered the house. This was a list you have earlier made. Since you cannot name any other thing on this same variable name, so you can use this again anytime in this same code. I'll show you an example. Now I want to print what was on the second place here in the list. Now print, first I'll write the list name, then inside the square brackets, I'll write the place name. Now I told you that this thing like pillow. Pillow is in first place, but we won't say it first. What we'll call is the zeroth place. The counting starts from zero. So zero, one, two, three. So zero will be the pillow, first one will be the bed sheet. Even though that's the second, we can generally see, but inside the Python, inside other languages too, like C and C++, I don't know about Java, but C and C++, you'll get the same concept. There also, what we consider is this as the zeroth place, this as the first, second, third. So it's like n minus 1. What is this? N. N is what? 2. We can see it with our eyes. But what we will be writing here, if we want to print out, is n minus 1. So, and what is 2 minus 1? It's 1. Well, let's check by printing it out. We can see that it prints bedsheet. Okay. So now we'll be doing with 0. What it will print is pillow. Now you might be getting that like we learned in that one, that 0, 1, 2, 3. Can we do it the same with the minus 1, minus 2, minus 3? Yes, you can do it with the minus 1. See, what minus 1 will do is, since this pillow thing is like 0, bed sheet is 1, bed is 2, bottle is 3. So what bottle can also be written is minus 1. I'll show you what minus 1 prints is. See, bottle. Now you can write the same. It comes like bot minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Okay. So wait, let me show you. Minus 1, minus 2. What minus 2 prints is bed. See? So this was a very simple list we covered here. Let me move on to the next topic here. You can see us. Lists allow you to store sets of information in one place, whether you have just a few items or millions of them. You can store many of them. It just depends that how much storage you want to be used. Okay. Lists are the one of Python's most powerful features, readily accessible to new programmers. And that I okay, this is what's a list? A list is a collection of items in a particular order. Here, what is important, the most important is the order. Okay. You can make a list that includes the letters of alphabet, the digits, which are obviously 0 to 9, or the names of all the people in your family. You can name it with, like, you can store anything. You can put anything. See, you can put anything you want into a list, and the items in your list don't have to be related to any particular way. Now we have learned it. See, here also what they did is, I'll show you. I'll take this thing. Just- I'll take this and simply copy in my. See, what they did is, what is the list name here? The list name is bicycles. How do you make a list? How do you create a list in Python? After the naming the variable, you keep a square bracket. Inside the square bracket, let it be double quotation, inverted commas, or single inverted commas. It can be anything. It depends. Like if you want to store something like double thing, inside the track you want to do like mountains. Okay. So now this won't be valid. For here you can use double quotation marks, which can be very useful. Wait, let me show you. See. Now what it will do is, I'll show you bicycles, zeroth place. Now if you print it, what it will print is C. So this is where double quotation and single quotations are used in Python. You understood? So wait, let me go to the default one. See, bicycles is the list name. Inside the here is the items like track, canodale, redline, specialized. Okay. So first place. It's not the first. The zeroth place. Zeroth place is track. First is Cannondale, sorry. Second is redlines. Third is specialized. Now, if I simply do bicycles, I'll print that list. I'm directly printing the whole list. Okay. So it will print the complete list here as it is, including the brackets. See, this is what happened. This is the output came here. See? Okay. Accessing elements in a list. We'll do this. Already we did it, but since the book has mentioned it, we'll just copy on. See, I'll just comment out this. The zeroth place is track. Okay, let's move further. We have covered basically most of the thing. Yes, one more thing here. See, mm, you can also use the string method from chapter 2 on any element in list. For example, you can format the element track more neatly by using the title method. So what this title method does, I'll show you what is the difference between both of them. See. See, these are different, these are same till here. After that, they have just added one more thing, which is dot title and then parenthesis. I'll show what it is used for. What it does, simply does, is takes your this thing and it changes the first letter into capital. I'll show you again. See, I'll just do for the same for the first. I'll do same for the second place. Remember what was second place? The third object we have actually in the list. It's just n minus 1, okay? It's simple. Now I'll run all of them. I'll show you. See what it does, takes the capital. And now you'll say, what if one of them is already capital? Let's check it again. Let's make this as capital C. See, it doesn't changes it. It just makes the first letter capital. So you can use this as an organized way if you want to print something like singularly. So you can do this. Okay. In see, index positions start at zero, not one. What are the index positions? That's what I told you. Positioning. The number, it's like you can say first, second, third. But when you do the indexing, it starts from zeroth, one, two, three. Okay. Same minus one. You can do the same with minus one. You can do the same thing here. See, now what I can do is I'll do this. Wait, I'll show you. If you want to write a sentence from something out here, I'll just comment them out. See now, you have made a list, and now you want to make a just it's playing with the list. I'll just make a sentence, small sentence with the help of another variable. I'll take another variable message. It's random. You can take anything like sentence. Okay, I made a new variable name. I just renamed it. So my first bicycle, this is a small like a string. It's simple. And then what I did was addition. Since I already told you, you can add the strings. What adding strings means placing them together in order. As order we have mentioned here. See, first this comes, then we have added bicycles is the list, then the zeroth place, like zeroth indexing is the trek. What dot title and parenthesis does is makes this trek as capital T. Okay. And then again another string we have added was see now what this print says. Just a second. Yeah, we didn't print it right. Let's print. Print. What should I do? Tell me. Is this the correct thing? No, right? Because whenever we put inside this, it becomes a string. It doesn't follows its way we have defined it. Okay. Sentence, we have defined a variable here. So for let it work, we shouldn't keep in the inverted commas. After printing it, what we get is my first bicycle was a truck. So we get that. Capital, we have just changed this capital T. Okay. Now let's move further. Changing, adding, and removing. Yeah. What we do say is, I guess, concatenation. I don't remember exactly, but changing, adding, and removing elements. What is changing here? Okay. So changing means, can you change something like red line to purple line or red line to only line? Yes, you can. Why not? Adding and removing elements. Can you remove them? Can I? Well, just I'll show you. See, most lists you create will be dynamic, meaning you'll build a list and then add and remove, build and then add and remove elements from it as your program runs its course. For example, you might create a game in which a player has to shoot aliens out of the sky. Out of the sky. You could store the initial set of aliens in a list and then remove an alien from the list each time one is shot down. Each time a new alien appears on the screen, you add it to the list. Okay, let's. I thought something important might be there, but they're just trying to explain you, which I'll do in a much more simpler way where the. Oh, okay. So sorry about that. Hmm. Modifying element in a list. The syntax of modifying an element is similar to the syntax for accessing an element in a list. What was accessing an element? Print, then list name, then closed bracket, and the index places, right? To change to change an element, use the name of the list followed by the index of the element you want to change, and then provide the new value you want that item to have. We'll just look at it. For example, let's say we have a list of motorcycles and the first item in the list is Honda. How would we change the value of this first item? Okay, so what we can do is, let's go with the same thing. Okay, it would be easier to explain here. So we have created new list, motorcycles, closed brackets, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Okay, now what they want is, see, I can I can go here and change Honda, okay. But what if I want to do it with the code, like by entering the commands, because I don't want to change this whole thing right now. Imagine that I have something. After that, I want to print something with respect to this list itself. And after those commands, I want to change this motorcycle. I want to modify it. Okay. So what you can do is motorcycles. This is the list name. Then indexing. What which one? Like zeroth, first, or second. So I want to change the zeroth one. I want to change the zeroth one. What do we want to change? Equals to. I want to change is hero. Okay. See, earlier if we used to print motorcycles, let's show you motorcycles. And after updating, let's print the motorcycles. S- See, you can see the first one was there when we didn't change anything. There is a second thing where we have updated. So this is how the updating works. Okay. See, this book, according to the author, what did is change the Honda to Ducati. After you print, it becomes Ducati. Okay. Adding element to a list. You might want to add a new element to a list for many reasons. For example, you want to make new aliens appear in a game, add new data to a visualization, or add register users to a website you have built. Python provides several ways to add blah blah blah. How you can simply add, I'll show you. So there is something called append. Okay, appending elements to the end of a list. You see, whenever you want to add something, it generally gets added in the end. Okay, see here Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Now you want to add Ducati, then you can add in the last. So how to do it? Okay, so simply what we do is, let me now it's changed, right? Let's comment out this also. You just got how to modify it. Okay, now you want to add something. So the list name, then dot append, and then whatever you are getting. See, dot append, inverted commas. I want to add BMW. Sorry. Hmm. I want to add BMW. Okay. So now I want to print this motorcycle. Earlier, right, let me do this. See, earlier before modifying and after modifying. Let's see the difference. See, earlier it was Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Now after the appending means adding in the last. Appending Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and BMW is added here. Okay. So this is how this thing works. The append method makes it easy to build list dynamically. For example, you start with an empty list and then add items to the list using a series of append statements. Using an empty list, let's add the elements Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki to the list. So let's make another list here. It's not be motorcycle, let it be cycle. Let it be a cycle list. So we'll be making a empty list. How to make a empty list is simply place square brackets here. So a cycle named empty, like I don't know the cycles, it changes to the phone. Okay. I don't know many cycle brands here. Let's change to the phone. So phone is another list name. It's an empty, right? It's an empty list. Now what we are going to do is first thing, how do we add any element to it? So phone dot append, then parenthesis, and inside it we are simply adding it. Let's try, okay? Sorry, let's yeah. So first one, of course, Apple versus Samsung. Apple, Samsung. Nah. Asus. No? What will be the first thing we're placing here? Mm, this is going to something, but yes, Samsung. Let's go with the Samsung. Okay. I wanted to go with the Huawei, but then thought, what if the YouTube bans me for this? But who knows? Okay. So Samsung. Now we try to add this. Oh, sorry, I didn't print it. Let me just simply comment them out. Let me print phone. Okay. Let's check what's happened. Yes, we got something. Earlier, if you might think that phone is an empty set, right? What if we print this? What will we getting? Let me check here. See, you get nothing. You get the same thing, the closed brackets you have already mentioned. Okay. Now you can try something more like, can we do with this commas? Let's try. Okay. App, Oppo. I'm just doing it randomly. There's no order. Okay. Vivo, Apple. Now let's check. Does this work? Nope, it didn't. Because this is something you're like adding in a whole thing. It won't work here. I think there might be something. No, maybe no. Wait, let me check. No, you should only do it separately. Okay. Let's do it separate. Don't paint. Okay, so you might think that, see, first I did Samsung, then Apple, then Xiaomi, right? Then which will come first? Will it go like Samsung will come to the last, then Apple, then Xiaomi? Right, I'll show. Second. It's the Samsung. It is, yeah, I don't want to confuse you. First, be clear. Mm. See, Samsung, Apple, Xiaomi. It comes in an order. Okay. So this is how you add something to an empty list. It doesn't matter. You can do it anyhow. Inserting elements to a list. We did it right. Oh, sorry. Uh, this was appending. It is the easiest thing. Like if you don't care about what order you like in between or somewhere into the list, then you can simple use append. Next, what thing comes is you can add a new element at any position. See, at any position, if you want to do it at any position in your list, then you can use the insert method. Okay, so you can do this with the help of insert method. Now we have motorcycles. Again, they have took the motorcycles. Ah, God, we should take only one example, right? Let's know what they did. Print motorcycle. Okay, sorry, motorcycles dot. Wait, I'll show you. See, motorcycle is a list. Inside the zeroth one is Honda, first one is Yamaha, next one is Suzuki, and motorcycles dot insert. See what we did here, the phone dot append. Similarly, here phone dot insert, and then inside the parenthesis, here also we had a parenthesis. The only place where we use close bracket in this list case is when you are naming the list. Okay, so when you are naming the list inside that, whenever after the list you use a curly, you don't use a curly or a parenthesis, you use a box. Okay, so yes, now here motorcycles dot insert. What is this zero? Zero is the index position you are mentioning. Like at this place, I want this to be inserted. Now you might think, zero, does it come between 0 and 1? Or does it come before 0? I'll show you. See, man, I need to print motorcycles. Okay. So since you have inserted at the 0 place, this doesn't mean that 0 to 1, 1 to 2. It means at 1, at 0. Okay. So we have inserted it at the place of 0 and the rest moves. Now, if you want to insert this at the place of 1, then Yamaha moves to the second. Okay. I'll show you. See. Honda and Ducati came at the first index position. I'm not talking about the normal position. I'm talking about the index position. So Ducati is there as a is at first index position, and Yamaha came to the second. Okay. So this is how insert works. How to remove it? Remove it. You can use the delete. I'll show you. Like now you need to delete motorcycles. Which index? Now since it has changed, I want to remove the Ducati again, which is at 1. Now I want to print motorcycles. What it came is Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Back to normal, right? We can use Dell thing, okay? The code uses Dell to remove the first item, okay? Okay, we can remove that. Sorry. Code at one uses the del to remove the first item Honda from the list. Okay, you can remove any item from a position in a light using on in a list using the del statement if you know its index. See, for example, here's how to remove the second item in the list. Now you want to remove the Yamaha, you can simply do one. This is what we did, right? We removed the first position, which was a Ducati, we removed it and printed. removing an item from the using pop method, you don't need it. I think like it's fine. See, the pop method removes the last element item in a list, but it lets you work with that item after removing it. The term pop comes from thinking of a stick. It doesn't seem important, but still. You can read it out here. You can pause and just read. Wait, I'll show you. You can have a look. Okay, let's move. Popping, popping. Moving an item by value. You can remove the item by value to also instead if you don't remember the index. See, here we remove the with the help of index. Now, what if I want to remove with the name like this name? I remember then one of the name and I want to remove that. You can use this thing. Like it was for append, it's the remove. Okay, so you can use motorcycles dot remove and then sorry, I think this is what should remove Ducati and then print. So what it's print? Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Earlier it was your Honda, Ducati, Yamaha. Organizing. This is the sorting thing. Let's move it to the to this thing. Wait for a minute. Let me check if the video is buffering again. I'll be back. Just a second. Let me show you. Removing an item by value. I've already told you we can use that motorcycles dot remove. So what today we are going to cover is this we'll be completing this list and later upon we'll be working with the list. But I think there's a little bit gap needed between these two things to understand what are loops, what are conditional statements. I've already told you a little bit like if, else and other things. But before going deep dive into the list, working with the dictionaries, with tuples, I think we really need to understand the loops like for loop, while loop, do, yeah, somewhere around that. And we'll be doing this part right now. Let's cover this, and after that, I'll complete the loops part either in this video or we'll take one more video for the loops. It's actually a good thing. It can like easy the tasks you have been doing till now and not itself the easy thing. We can also apply in many questions. Like there are multiple questions where you can use loops instead of using other functions or long syntax. So I'll show you what loops are. But first, let's complete this. Hmm, organizing a list. Okay. So what are we have already done the list. I'll just give a quick revision. List, close brackets, under the single quotation marks, comma, 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 you make a list. Okay. That becomes a list with a named variable. Variable can be anything named except the keywords we have already set in the Python. Uh, Also, the name shouldn't start with the number, neither there should be any space between the name. Okay, so these are the rules. You can just recap it. Let's continue with the organizing of list. Often your lists will be created in an unpredictable order because you cannot always control the order in which your users provide their data. It's obvious, like you give someone enter what subjects you have in your curriculum. Okay. So in college, whenever there is a course code or there is serial number, the the order of the subjects is prescribed already. So suppose me being an organization or another institute, I'm asking the students to enter what courses they are being learned in their college. Okay. So they suppose there are 5 courses, they'll keep it random. Okay. They won't remember the order, whatever comes in mind, they'll simply keep it. So if we need to make it in order, this is where the organizing a list topics come into. So sometimes you'll want to preserve the original order of your list, and the other items you'll want to change the original order. Python provides a number of different ways to organize your list depending on the situation. Sorting a list permanently with the sort method. This is a sort method like we have seen here, remove, append, everything, right? Similarly, this is the sort method we can use. Let's open VS Code. Here, this is the, let me show. This is the list name, and this is how we define a list. These are the items inside it. Okay. So what does it wants to do is sort them. Okay. So what sort does is it will just align them with the ascending order. It's like a dictionary aligning. Okay. Not exactly dictionary aligning, but you see, right, how we find out things in a dictionary. We just go with the order, right? The first letter comes, then the second letter. If the first 2 letters are same, the third letter will be considered. The same thing will be used here. See, the sort method shown, not this. Python sort method makes it relatively easy to sort a list. Imagine we have a list of cars and want to change the order of the list to store them alphabetically. Keep the task simple. Let's assume that all the values in the list are lowercase. Okay. So here this is BATS. Let's check the first letter of each and everyone, and they are different, so it's easy. ABST. Okay, you got them right. We'll also check it here. Just give me a second. Mhm. Okay. Let's do with the let's do with the Mhm. Okay. We have this, right? We have a list of motorcycles in which we have Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki. Now we want them to sort in, like we want to sort them alphabetically. Okay. So what we'll do is motorcycles dot sort. Okay. Like this, we can see here. It's the curly brackets we are going to get. See, these are parentheses, not curly brackets. Sorry. So now what it's going to do is simply sort them. See, H comes first, S comes next, then Y. You can see it. Okay. Now you might get a doubt like what if it's ha ha ma? Okay, what's going to happen? See, ha ha Yamaha comes first, Honda comes first, Suzuki that comes later on. Let's move to the next one. You can also sort this list in the reverse alphabetical by passing the argument reverse true to the sort method. The following example sorts the list in the reverse. Okay, yes. What we're doing here is this is cars dot sort. When we did this here, motorcycles dot sort. We are simply saying to sort it normally, like the alphabetical. Now, what they are defining is reverse equals to true. Okay. So what it says is simply make this whole pattern the sort is following, reverse it. Okay. So we have reversed it. Now we can see earlier we were getting Hahama Honda Suzuki. Now we are getting Suzuki Honda Hahama. Hamaha. My bad. Okay. Now sorting a list temporarily with sorted function. This was the permanent change. Okay. this जो sort होता है sort and parenthesis वो एक permanent, see, sorting a list permanently with the sort method. Now what if you want it only to be sorted for a little blocks, which we name it as temporarily. You can define it obviously. So we'll check sorting a list temporarily with the sorted function. To maintain the original order of a list but present it in a sorted order, you can use the sorted function. The sorted function lets you display your list in a particular order but doesn't affect the actual order of the list. See, the sorted function lets you display your list in a particular order. Lets you display, okay? Display your list in a particular order, but doesn't affect the actual order of the list. It only behkawa, okay? That's a behkawa you it uses, which is also named as temporary change, okay? So let's try this with the function of cars. What it does is, see, cars, and they have named it the BAT. It's random, right? So now print. Here is the original list. Print cars. First they have printed this. Let's do with this. Okay. इसे हटाने दो मुझे. Next, print sorted cars. Okay. Print. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's check, because generally what we do is use this thing, right? Okay. See. Print sorted motorcycles, okay? Now print cars again. So now what this will show you is, I'll tell you. Print motorcycles, what simply it's going to print is this thing, this list. It will print the same list we have earlier defined, okay? Next, since we have used the sorted function, not the sort. Sort was different. Sort was the permanent change we do in the list. Sorted is just displaying, just printing it at the moment. And next we will print motorcycle. Let's see if there any changes are made or it still remains same, which was temporary change has occurred. Okay, so let's check it. तो यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं कि होंडा हामा, अरे यार, let me change this Yamaha itself. Okay, Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. Next, we have used this temporary change feature, or whatever you can say, function. Sorted parenthesis motorcycles. So here Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha. You can see this is sorted, right? This is what it prints when we sort a list. But again, if we print motorcycles, अगर हमने सॉर्ट यूज किया होता तो फिर ये मोटरसाइकिल्स में ये वाली लाइन ही रिपीट हो रही होती, बट सिंस वी हैव यूज्ड द सॉर्टेड फंक्शन, so what it does is temporarily changes the order. It just corrects the order for the temporary print, or whatever you can say, temporary. That's completely temporary. Now we will move to the next one. finding the length of a list. Suppose your user, you have given your user to enter the things they would love to visit a place, okay, in the world. Now they have entered 50 to 100 things, okay. Now, like it might be even 5, it can be 10, it can be 15, it can be 20, it can be 30, whatever, any number. But now, since you don't know the length of a list, what's length? The number of objects in it, inside it. Okay. So it's very simple. You can just use this thing. Let me just do this thing. Now, motorcycles dot len. Sorry, len motorcycles. See now it will say 3. My bad. Mm-hmm. What's happening? Okay, I need to print it. Okay. Yeah. Print length of the motorcycles. Okay. 3. Got it. You can try these things. Try it yourself. Store the locations in a list. Make sure the list is not in the alphabetical order. It means random होना चाहिए. कोई जरूरत नहीं है sorted की लगाने की. Print your list in its original order. Don't worry about printing the list neatly. Just print it as a raw Python list. Use sorted to print your list in alphabetical order without modifying the actual list. We done this right? We have done this right now. Show that your list is still in its original order by printing it. How you can show this? By using the sorted. Since we have done this here, I'll show you. See, you have defined a variable and we have created a list inside it. Now we have printed the motorcycle the list. Now we got the same result we had here. Now what we will do is use the print sorted motorcycles. Now this will change only for temporary movement, and later on again if we print the motorcycles it will give the same result which was earlier being unchanged completely. So this is how you can do this question. So use reverse to change the order of your list. We have done that, right? Reverse equals to true. Use sort. Okay, you can try this on your own. Avoid index error when working with the list. Yes, this is very important because this is 1, this is 0. Sorry, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Where is 3? If you print this, you get an error. Okay, and that is an index error. Okay. That's an index error. 15 minutes up. So summary. This is we have learned about the lists. We'll have a look over the summary here. In this chapter, you learned what lists are. What are lists? Complete ordered pair of objects inside a variable name. Here you can place any object inside the closed brackets, square brackets, and those should be those are completely ordered pairs. Okay, so whenever you set 1 to 6 9, okay, 1 to 6 9, and then that's the order. At the 0th place there is 1, at the first place there is 2, at the third place there is sorry, the at the second place there is 6, and at the third place there is 9. So this is the ordered pair. And how to work with the individual items in a list. How you can work with the individual items? The variable name, I mean the list name, then square brackets, and then the indexing, right? That's how you work. And not just indexing, you can add them, you can remove them. We have already seen in the previous video, right? You learned how to define a list and how to add and remove elements. Yes, append, remove. You learned how to sort lists permanently and temporarily for display purposes. Sort, sorted. You also learned how to find the length of a list, len, and then parenthesis, and how to avoid indexes when you're working with the list. In chapter 4, you learn how to work with the items in a list more efficiently.